Hey everyone, good evening. Good evening to all. Hi Anas, hi Vaishnavi, hi Ravi. Hello. Guys, am I audible and visible clearly? Just let me know quickly in the chat, please. May I know, am I audible to you all, please? Hi actor. Anyone? I'm on a team up. Okay. Hi. Yes, yes. Okay, guys. Okay, thank you so much for your confirmation. So, myself, Anam Khan, I'm one of the team member at LetsUpgrade, and I'm here just to give you all this information about this bootcamp. We are starting with MongoDB bootcamp, which is for 5 days, and each day it will be a 1 hour session. So, hope you all are excited to learn MongoDB. And if you have any queries, anything that you want to know, or any doubt, you can ask us in the chat. We are here. The trainer is here to help you out and clear your doubts. Good evening, Neeraj. So, guys, if you all are excited, do hit the like button and put the emojis, your favorite emoji, any of the emojis in the chat. So we'll get to know. Yes, we people are interacting and connecting with each other. Hello, Valorant boy. चल नहीं रही क्लास चलेगी class, don't worry. I will just explain you about the attendance and everything, then we'll go ahead. And I can see there are more than 300 people in the session, so do call up your friends and who want to learn about this program, and who are interested to learn MongoDB. Just share the link with the friends and your relatives, anyone you want. Hi Subodip. Hello. So I can see that there is like people are responding in the chat. It feels great to see that you people are connecting with us and responding to our things. I'm doing web development. Yeah, it will. How do we start it from scratch? Don't worry, guys. The trainer will help you all to become a pro in this MongoDB. So do not worry about it. So yeah, I will share my screen quickly and tell you all about the attendance thing. Hi, Vaibhav. When will I get the certificate? Certificate will unlock on the day 5 of this bootcamp. When we end, like when we are when we'll get done with this program. So do not worry. You can download the certificate on day 5, and if you guys have any queries till then, you can ask us for other things. So I hope my screen is also visible to you all. Is there any certificate? Yes, there is certificate which you can add in your resume and it will add value to it. Guys, is my screen visible to you all? Just let me know yes or no in the chat, please. Is certificate is valuable? Yes, it is. Session timing, it will be a 1 hour session each day, and this bootcamp is for 5 days. Yeah, so yes, thank you guys, thank you. So here guys, here in the description box you can see one link for attendance registration certificate. We have one link, we call it as a one link. You go on this link, you will be redirected to the page where you enroll yourself. So if you have not, please make sure that you enroll for this program to mark the attendance and get the certificate on day 5. So here is here beside the day 1 title, you can see mark attendance toggle. Click on it. Here is the rating scale from 0 to 10. You can give the feedback according to yourself, rate the session so as much as you like. So I will give 10 on 10 for now. And here is the feedback box. If you have any feedback for us, anything positive, negative, feel free to put it here, and we'll surely work on it. And after then, mark the attendance. Marking the attendance, just reload the page so that your progress bar will increase. Do not spam for that. Progress bar is not increasing. Just reload the page once, and it will increase. So beside the progress bar, there is on day 5 there will be the generate certificate option on day 5. So do not spam for the certificate also, and it will increase day by day. As you mark your attendance, it will increase 20% each day. Here is the Discord and WhatsApp channel link. You can join us there to get more updates, daily invites, reminders, event and workshop reminders. So if you have please join us on there. And here is the student ambassador program. It is a 1 month program. It's a free of cost, no charge, nothing. And here we host and conduct workshops, events. You can get the chance to meet industry leaders, experts, and get the chance to win coupons worth rupees 10,000. And also you will get the swag kits, gold, silver, bronze. People are already enrolled and enjoying the student ambassador program. So make sure that you people are also enrolling and get the chance to add this on your LinkedIn profile. And yeah, also we do have this Postman challenge going on, where you can get the chance to win earbuds, Amazon Echo, smartwatch, and many more things are there. People are already know who have won this. You can check our Instagram handle, there you can find it. And so the postman the next batch for postman is starting from tomorrow itself, so you can enroll in this program and get the things done. And also, yeah, about everything I have already here we have the Notion doc where you can find everything. We have stored everything here at one place. So this is a doc link, this is the attendance link, and these are the session links. And here is the notes page. Like we have prepared the notes for you people, which will help you all to crack the interview and get more learning. And if you have any doubt, guys, and we'll upload the notes which sir will share with you. We will add in the Notion doc, so you can get the link from there. Certificate is free. There is no charge. Just you will need LU coins for it to download. 200 LU coins you will need to download, which you can earn by referring and marking the attendance. It's free, guys. There is no certificate charge, nothing. I think I have answered all the questions, and we can go ahead. Guys, do not spam for the certificate. It's free, no charge, nothing. So please do not spam again and again for the certificate. And please let others also to ask their doubt in the chat, so we won't miss them all. Okay, so I'll call the trainer, who is Rohit sir. He will be guiding you and teaching you in the next 5 days. So yeah, hi sir, good evening.
Hi,
Hello.
good evening, Anam. Thank you. Good evening to everyone. I hope everyone is doing great.
Yeah, so
So today and for next 4 days, we will be learning MongoDB. So I was reading the chat. Someone asked whether we will be learning it from scratch. Yes, we will be learning MongoDB from scratch, from 0 to 100, from basic to advanced. Hi, good evening, everyone. Hi. Certificate is free, as ma'am has said. Please don't spam for certificate. Sounds great. Thank you.
sir, I think
Okay.
we can go ahead and start with the session. So I will hand over the session to you
Yes.
and take a leave. Okay,
Sure,
so
sure,
guys,
sure.
thank you everyone. Bye.
Okay, my screen should be visible now. So, good evening. What are the opportunities on MongoDB? Well, Pratap, the opportunities in MongoDB are endless. SQL ruled the development, the database scenarios for like 30 years. Now it's for NoSQL, and MongoDB rules in the NoSQL department. Is the certificate valuable? Subhadeep, yes, we hear you, and it is valuable. Thank you. Will you help integrate MongoDB to front end? Sure, we can. But first, let me tell you what are we going to learn in today's session, and then I'll discuss briefly about what we are going to learn in the upcoming days. Where can we mark attendance? Okay, Anjali, if you can check the description in the link, in the YouTube link, you will have a one link where you can mark attendance. There you go. Okay, so let me first tell you about what we are going to learn today. A brief about what databases are, some examples from your real world where you interact with databases on a daily basis, the types of database there are. We are going to deep dive into NoSQL databases, and but in particularly in MongoDB, we are going to learn. We are going to see the differences between SQL and MongoDB. We are going to understand some terms that we use on a daily basis, like a collection and a document, what these are. Also, Are you going to teach MongoDB Compass? We will learn all the commands through command line, but you can take the same commands to MongoDB Compass as well, Reshma. Do you tell us how to install MongoDB? Yes, Sarthak, we will do it today only. Yes, no problem. MongoDB DevOps. The role of MongoDB in DevOps is the same as of any database, Ayush. MongoDB can integrate with Java, with JavaScript, with PHP, with Python. So, Jay, the answer to your question is yes. Okay, Jeevan Kumar, right today we will be launching MongoDB on our very own machine. But yes, I will tell you something about MongoDB Atlas in the upcoming days as well. Yes, Jet, I've already answered your question. Kindly let others also ask. Yes, this will be a recorded session, Raghav. How is MongoDB helpful? When you want to store your data, you cannot do so in your file system. So there you need databases. The upcoming database is MongoDB. That is why we are here to learn it. So as I told you, we will be learning about MongoDB. Let's get started. Of course, we are going to learn about MongoDB, but first, what is a database in general? As you can see on the screen, a database is an organized collection of data which can be stored and accessed electronically. This is the official definition of a database, an organized collection of data which you can access electronically. However, more formally, we refer to database as a set of related data. Now, database can be small or can be huge also. The size of a database can vary greatly. It's a database nonetheless. If you have a small database, you can store it on pen and paper. You can store it in your computer's hard disk. However, when the database becomes huge, they are stored on cloud systems. You must have heard of Azure, AWS. That is where the cloud, or someone referred to Atlas. When the data becomes huge, you store them on the cloud. Atlas, MongoDB Atlas is also a cloud. MongoDB and MySQL both are databases, but they are two different classes of databases, Saikaran, which we are going to refer in a moment. Is it useful for a beginner? Very much, Ranjit. Yes. Notes मिलेंगे Valorant. Again, जो YouTube पे आपका नीचे लिंक है, उस पे क्लिक करिए. Notes वहां हैं. Duration of this class, Naman, will be 1 hour. Some examples of databases from your real life. The contacts in your phone is a database. Your record in your school or college or university, that is a database. When you go to any grocery store, their inventory list, how many items they have, that is a database. There is no prerequisite for it, Akil. We are starting from scratch. I am talking in English only, Momin. Is it hard? No, it is not hard. If you know MySQL, it will be even much easier. So someone asked, what is the difference? Let us talk about what are the differences. There are broadly only two categories of databases, the relational databases and the object databases. Relational database, जिसका part है MySQL, it came into existence in 1960s and was predominantly used from 1960 to in the 1900s, 1990s, and early 2000s. Some popular examples are obviously MySQL, Microsoft SQL Server, IBM's DB2, Oracle database, PostgreSQL, so many others. I'm sure all of you must have heard about relational databases, one database or the other. Mohit will install MongoDB in the later part of today's session. Don't worry about it. Stay till there. However, in the early 2000s, object databases came into priority. Object databases became popular. They were, however, around from 1980s, but they became popular in the early 2000s. Why they became popular in the early 2000s? Let me show you this screen first. Why NoSQL databases became popular? Well, the very first reason or the main reason of NoSQL databases becoming popular was because now we use object oriented languages. C++. I'm sure you must have some of you must have used C++, you must have used Java, you must have used React or Node. All of these languages, they deal with objects. Since now we use languages which are object oriented, which deals with objects, that means we can store, we can retrieve, we can modify data as objects. So if we are working with objects in the programming, in the business logic, it makes sense to work with objects in the database as well. You don't need to write the application logic, the business logic in some other language, while the database in an entirely different language. That is why object oriented databases became popular. Why? Because you can, as you are using JSON, as you are using XML, even you are using graphs in the front end in the programming, you can use the same objects, you can use the same JSON, you can use the same logic in databases as well. That is the main reason why we are using NoSQL databases. So that one person with one set of skills can work in the coding department as well and can work in the databases as well. With SQL, the main problem was SQL's structure, SQL's uh, language, or the syntax were entirely different from the code that you would write to make front end and back end. That is why we will be using, or we are studying about NoSQL databases or object-oriented databases. Now I have read question key, which one to use? I will tell you the use cases in a little bit. Then it's upon you to decide which one will suit your needs. Now RDBMS or relational database can be majorly classified into MySQL and Microsoft SQL only. Yes, this video will be available. You can contact people at LetsUpgrade to how to check this video, so don't worry. However, when it comes to NoSQL databases, they can be further divided into 3 to 4 categories. One, as you can see on your screen, is a key value store. Second, are document-oriented databases. MongoDB is a part of this category. You have wide column stores and you have graph databases as well. Now I'm going to touch upon all the other 3, but we are going to study in detail the document-oriented databases, of which MongoDB also is a part. First, some key value stores. You can see the logos on the right-hand side. These are some of the popular key value stores. Redis, Memcached, Amazon's DynamoDB. These are some examples of NoSQL key value stores type NoSQL databases. Now, where are these used? When do we use them? Sorry. The key value stores are used to manage hash tables, are used to manage cache. Pratiksha, what is your question? Pratiksha, the PPT's link is also in the documentation link that you have in the YouTube's description. Please find it there. Yes, so key value stores we use when we want to store the cache memory. Now we are not going to deep dive into detail about what cache is. This demands for some another video. Key value stores, the most popular in this category is Redis. Document oriented, MongoDB is a part of document oriented database. Document oriented यानी कि जिसका मेजर पार्ट, जिसका सेंट्रल पार्ट है एक डॉक्यूमेंट, ऑल्सो नोन एज डॉक्यूमेंट स्टोर. What exactly a document is, I'll cover that just a few minutes from now. Document oriented database, yeah, document stores. These are designed for storing, retrieving, and managing document oriented information. As you can see on the right hand side, I have put up two different examples of how a document might look like. The top image is what we call a JSON. This is what you are seeing is a JSON. What exactly it is? It looks like an object. It contains three pieces of information: the first name, the address, and the hobby. The below what you see in this image, this is actually XML. You might have seen XMLs in if you work with Android. XML works with Android works with XML. This JSON or this XML, or there is upcoming language called YAML. These languages help us store what we call as documents in databases. Again, what documents are, we will touch them in a few minutes from now. Yes, where to use document oriented database, where to use MongoDB. Some examples are e-commerce database. If you are building some e-commerce application, MongoDB is perfectly suited for that. Or you are building some content management, that is some blogs or some similar websites, you can use MongoDB there as well. If you are building some analytics website, just like Google Analytics, you can use object or document oriented databases, that is MongoDB there as well. So I have done a blog episode. As I just told Sai, MongoDB is better for application like blog application, as you might be dealing with different structures of data. MySQL has a rigid database, has a rigid schema or structure. MongoDB will help you scale better. There is also a database category called graph database. Neo4j is a very good example for that. Here, data is stored in terms of graphs. If you have studied data structures, you might be understanding what a graph is. In a graph oriented database or graph database, the data items are stored in collection of nodes and edges. In the diagram that you see, the lines are nodes. Sorry, the circles are nodes and the lines are edges. Where to use graph database? Actually, you interact with graph databases on a daily basis in Instagram or on Snapchat. You might be using Instagram and Snapchat, right? Both of them, they use graph databases. That is, use cases can be social networks. When you are building that something which relates to network topology, you will be using graph databases. Or if you are building something for fraud detection, there also the type of database that we use. Yes, Ola, Uber, all of them use graph databases. Thank you, Abhay. Some of the popular examples are Neo4j, Azure's Cosmos DB. Both of them are graph databases. It's a 1 hour workshop, Cinematic World. Again, I told you so much about NoSQL. You might be wondering, why are we studying NoSQL? Now let me answer that question. Why study NoSQL if I know MySQL, why to study MongoDB or any other NoSQL? However, this slide I've just showed you. Study NoSQL because so that you can work with the same set of structures, same set of rules on the application side as well as on the database side. Both are object-oriented data languages, right? One main reason, one big reason of using NoSQL databases so that you can work with the same logic, with the same rules in the application and the database as well. NoSQL databases use JSON, use XML, use YAML and graphs to store databases, to store data, as I just showed you, right? One, again, a big reason to use NoSQL database is the flexibility it provides. MySQL is a rigid form of database structure. Yes, Abhishek. Banking comes to my mind when where you can you or whereas it is better to use SQL due to asset compliance. I will tell you what those are. I don't think there is any other use case where you can't use NoSQL database. However, we are talking about the advantages. NoSQL databases are flexible as compared to the rigid structure of SQL, are fast. Why are these fast? Because they do not use joins. What these are, I will explain in detail at a later stage. One more point where we need to use exactly row and their data. Yes, Abhay. MongoDB and other NoSQL databases can use your RAM and your SSDs to store data. Now, RAM and SSD are very, very faster than the traditional hard disks where MySQL stores data. This gives an edge to NoSQL databases. Preference is a case to case basis, Abhishek. Preference should be dealt with according to the project, according to the use case. Now, I have told you so many things that use NoSQL. Let me show you an example also. What you are seeing on the screen is a query. First, the first diagram, the first picture is a SQL query to find all Jack's friends. So you have a data of a person named Jack. You have another piece of information where all the Jack's friends information are stored. If you wanted to find of all the Jack's friends in SQL, you would write something like this. As you can see, it's a 5-line query and it is using a join. The same query in a NoSQL database, in a graph database, can be written. What you are seeing at the bottom is just a single line. Now, what this line is saying? Match Jack, who is friend with second person, and give me the second person's name. As simple as that. Much more English like, right? Now take a look at the above query of the SQL query. Now this takes some reading. इसको पढ़ना पड़ता है, right? So it is right subject to start. Yes, Pavan, it is a very right subject to start. MongoDB support graph database. Graph database Drishti are a different category. Neo4j, Cosmos DB are graph. MongoDB is a document-oriented database. By this example, you can see that there is some benefit in using object-oriented databases, right? As you can see, it's a one-liner query instead of 5 lines. You might be also thinking, how are these NoSQL or object-oriented databases different from SQL? Now, let me tell you about some differences. How much MongoDB need for website development? Okay, Shahrukh, the MySQL code above, it is telling me to apply a join on a P1 table. Telling me to join P1 table to P2 table. By which condition? Where both the tables have person's name as Jack. This is what the SQL query is doing. Okay, can you move your picture to the right side? Okay, I believe people from LetsUpgrade can do that. Is there any language required to learn MongoDB? Prashant, it will be better if you know a little bit of JavaScript. That will be better. No, Abhay, Mongoose is covered when you are dealing with Node.js or when you are writing backend code. Now, as I was explaining, How is it different from SQL? How is MongoDB different from SQL? In front of you, you have a table detailing the differences. The very sir, I want to learn MongoDB. For data science, it is better to know MongoDB. It's not a prerequisite. Now, in front of you, you have a table with key differences. The very first difference is in the structure. SQL or MySQL has a very rigid structure. It will have a table with rows and columns. MongoDB has no defined structure. Here, you supply the structure. You tell it, okay, this will be the structure. Another difference is in scalability. Now, SQL is scaled vertically. What do I mean when I say SQL is scaled vertically? If your database grows, if there is heavy traffic on your website, what you do in case of SQL, you add more resources to the server, you add more RAM to the server. That is known as scaling vertically, to add more resource to a single server. However, NoSQL is scaled horizontally. That is, instead of applying more resource to a single server, we introduce different servers. We introduce another servers. That is, the load is balanced into between two servers. Now this helps with the speed. This helps with quicker data fetching. SQL is scaled vertically, however, while NoSQL or MongoDB is scaled horizontally. Yes, there are queries, Tausif, which we will be taking a look at from tomorrow onwards. Yes. Flexibility, as we just discussed, due to its rigid schema, SQL is less flexible. However, NoSQL, they are highly flexible. Now, someone asked, is there any scenario where we should use MySQL only? One scenario comes to my mind where you can or where you should use MySQL. Actually, that is only one scenario that comes to my mind, is a banking system where strong ACID compliance is required. Now, this can be a new term for you guys. ACID is an abbreviation for atomicity, consistency, isolation, and durability. I will not go into detail. I will just give you a very simple example. Let's say Abhay is transferring some money to Ranjit. Let's say Abhay is transferring 100 rupees to Ranjit. Now the transaction will be marked as complete on the basis of two things: whether the money was debited from Abhay's account and the money was credited to Ranjit account. The transaction will not be marked complete when only the money was debited from one's account and not credited. Right? This both of these things make it a complete transaction. If your use case, if your application requires such scenarios, that for a transaction you need to take feedback from the other party as well, only in those scenarios it is advised to use MySQL, because MySQL comes out of the box to do this. However, having said that, MongoDB after version 4 has also developed ACID capabilities. So now MongoDB can also be used in banking databases, in banking systems as well. Yes, Subramaniam, ACID properties. Also, in SQL, you write queries in just one language, that is SQL only. That is the beauty of NoSQL. You can write queries in different languages. As I just told you, you can write queries in JSON format, you can write queries in graph formats as well. You have different languages, you have different rules to write SQL, to write queries in NoSQL. About use cases. Mr. Khan, if you have knowledge of basic MySQL, That will also work. Don't worry. Only one use case can be applied where SQL should used is banking, where you require complex transaction, where you require data integrity. For all other use cases, you can use MongoDB. If you are building an e-commerce, if you are building a social media, if you are building a blog, right? For all these things, you can use MongoDB or any other NoSQL database for that moment. Now, you must have heard me using the term document a few minutes before. What exactly a document is? What you are seeing on your screen, the image that you see below, that is a document. It is nothing but a JavaScript object. As you can see, it has an ID, it has a name, email, address. Address contains street, city, zip code, and interests. This is a document. The detail about a single person. This is known as a document. Documents are the primary data unit in MongoDB. Yes, Abhay, documents are like a no, Abhay, documents are actually like rows. Documents are grouped into collection. Those collections are like tables. I will tell you about the mapping in a little bit. So what is a document? What you are seeing on the screen is a document. Let me tell you about the mapping now. Or how will you decide whether to use SQL, whether to use MongoDB? Why should I use SQL? What are the benefits of using MongoDB? So what we are going to do here is we are going to store the same information for both SQL and MongoDB, and we will see in which database, in which type of database we can do the things quickly. We are storing information about a user, Leslie. If you were to create an SQL table, you would do it like this. You can see the users table. It has an ID, it has a first name, last name, cell, and a city. These are the columns: ID, first name, last name, and these are the rows. Right? Oops, sorry. However, if you were to do this the same in MongoDB, you would make a document which looks something like this. You would have a document which will have an object which would look like this: the ID, the first name, the last name, the cell, and the city. In SQL, you would create a table. In MongoDB, you would create a document. Now let us see different scenarios. Let us add information into this Leslie table. What kind of information? Let's add her latitude and longitude, her current location. Yes, in MySQL, we can do that like this. We can add two columns, latitude and longitude, and we can add the information. The document will represent it in the form of an object only, Vishwanath. So if we were to do the same in MongoDB, what we will do, because MongoDB understands arrays and objects, what we will do is, instead of having two columns, we will add just a single column location or coordinates, and you can add both the information in an array. Now, array, something that you have been studying from day one, right? Let's add some more information. Let us now add her hobbies. Now let us add Leslie's hobbies. Here comes the problem with MySQL. When we are adding hobbies, now a single user can have multiple hobbies. or multiple users, more than one users can have a single hobby. To address this issue, what we would do in MySQL, we would create a separate table. We would create a different table. Yes, you can use CouchDB also, Mohammed. It is very much same like MongoDB. So in MySQL, to store hobbies, what you would do, you would create a separate table. And then you would need join to join both the tables. Now let me tell you, joins are expensive. Joins को fetch होने में time लगता है. In MongoDB, however, you don't need any join. As you can see in the right side photo, if you wanted to add Leslie's hobbies, sure, add an array. Right? So you can see the picture now. SQL's problems. Let's go ahead. If you wanted to add Leslie's job history as well. In SQL, now this will be the third table. We had personal information, we had hobbies information, and we had job information. 3 tables in SQL. However, in MongoDB, just keep on adding information in the same document. You don't need anything separate. And when you don't need anything separate, no need for joins. That is the beauty of it. I hope you can understand now why should we opt for MongoDB, right? Easier code, lesser code, quicker results. Yes, Abhay, we can do that. We can do that. I will tell you about aggregations and all. I think in tomorrow's or day after tomorrow's. Yes, we can. Term mapping or drawing comparisons in the names in both SQL and MongoDB. What is called a row in MongoDB is a document. Oh, so my bad. What is called a row in MySQL is a document in MongoDB. What is a column in SQL is known as a field in Mongo. Right? I hope the images make it clear. The term mapping. So a row was a document. A column is a field. The left hand side is SQL, the right hand side is Mongo. What you called tables in SQL, we call them collections in MongoDB. Right? I think now you can put the pieces together. However, there are similar names, same names as well. A database in SQL is a database in MongoDB only. However, the difference is a database was a collection of tables in SQL, or database had tables. MongoDB's database has collections. It is a collection of collections. Index. However, you haven't studied index yet. You will in upcoming classes. Index, what was an index in SQL is an index in MongoDB as well. There is no difference. A view is also a view. Same thing. No difference. You will understand about view later. As I told you, yes, joins are expensive in SQL. You don't have joins as such in MongoDB. What you have is embedding. And embedding is way less expensive as joins. However, what join did? Combined data from 2 or more tables. What embedding does? Combines data from 2 or more documents. Let us very quickly understand about some of the concepts that you are going to learn in the upcoming videos. Don't worry, I won't get into details as of today. 4 things that you must understand. As you see in SQL, arrange these tables are not about MongoDB. What's the case with collections? I don't understand your question much, Shyam. Can you please elaborate? If you are studying MongoDB, you must understand what replication is, what is sharding, what are indexes, and what are aggregations. it works as the same as what primary key did in SQL. Yes, Abhay. The ID or the unique ID will work as the same as primary key in SQL. Yes. Replication. Replication, as the name suggests, is the process of making multiple copies of data across multiple MongoDB servers. Replication or replica, right, simply means to create copies of data of your data. Now, why it is done? What is the goal of replication? To improve data availability, to improve scalability. And if there is a fault in one machine, if there is a fault in one server, data can be served from another server. That is fault tolerance. It is similar as aggregation in SQL. Yes, Pratiksha. Replication is done using replica sets. What are replica sets? Group of MongoDB servers that share the same instances. We will go into detail in replicas tomorrow. A replica contains at least two machines, a primary machine or a primary node and a secondary node. Replication. Primary node handles all the write operations. What exactly is the write operation? When you write some information into the database, when you create some information into the database, that is write operation. The primary nodes does all the writes operations. The secondary node simply maintains the copy of the primary node's data. Replication for you. We won't be going into detail as of now. Atif, you are supposed to mark your attendance in the link provided in the video's description. Please see the link by the title One Link. You can mark your attendance there. Another important concept that is asked in interviews very, very much is sharding. Sham, the collections are stored in what is known as a BSON format in database, that is binary JSON. Subramaniam, there will be task and assignment, just not today. Today is all about installing and the theory part. Sharding is actually a technique of distributing data into shards, into small pieces, into subsets known as shards. These slides are already shared, Mariam. Please check the description below. Okay, since we do not have much time, yes, Abhay, it is chunks. I'm going through the theory lecture a little quickly so that we can have the installation part. Now, indexes are just like the index that you have in your notebooks in the very front page. What index does? It helps you find the chapter or the topic that you are looking for quickly. Indexes in MongoDB are used to make queries more efficient. Just like indexes were in SQL, indexes are the same in MongoDB as well. Good evening, Sudesh. Aggregation. Aggregation was there in SQL. It works quite similar to that in MongoDB as well. What exactly aggregation is? It is a way to process large number of documents in a collection by passing them through a series of stages, or what we call a pipeline. Aggregation is when you apply one operation on the data and you apply another operation on the result of that, or the result of the first operation, and this chain goes on. We call this chain a pipeline, and the whole procedure is known as aggregation. Some very common examples can be filtering, can be sorting, can be grouping the data, right? Can be renaming fields or transformation. All of these come under the heading aggregation. Okay. Enough of theory. Yes, you can learn MongoDB, Anish. Let us install MongoDB now. Okay, guys, if you can pay attention to my screens, and if someone is not able to see it, do let me know. My browser should be visible to everyone. If it is not, please let me know in the comments. We will, Vishwanath, just not today. We will do it tomorrow. Don't worry. To install MongoDB, what you can do is you can make a Google search for MongoDB community server. Just do a simple Google search for MongoDB community server. The first link that you get, you click on that and you download the MongoDB community server. Now we are talking about the installation in Windows. Don't worry, I will talk brief about installing it in Mac as well. We can retrieve data from MongoDB, Ravi. Why not? We can. We sure can. So you need to download this MSI package. It is entirely free. You don't need to pay anything. Just click on it. It will download. Once you have it downloaded, this is what it will look like. Let me quickly go through the installation part. Double click on it. Click on next. Of course, accept the license. Again, click on next. Now there is a screen which says whether you want the complete or the custom type. Well, it's entirely up to you, whichever you choose. The only difference in custom is it will ask you whether you want Mongo shell or not. I have clicked on custom. Now this screen, I will not change anything. I will simply click on next. This is important. Now it is asking me whether I want to install MongoDB as a service. Please make sure that this is checked. Yes, you want MongoDB as a service. Please make sure you have the name as MongoDB or it will be filled automatically. Please do not change it. Simply click on next. I will talk about Linux as well, Pratiksha and Drishti. Don't worry. Now, in the next screen, it is asking whether you want to install MongoDB Compass or not. What exactly is MongoDB Compass? MongoDB Compass is a graphical tool to write queries or to fetch data from MongoDB. It's entirely optional whether you install it or not. I'm not going to install it for now because we will be studying MongoDB from the command line, from the black MS-DOS only. Let me click on next, and that's it. That is the only thing that you need to do. Let it install. It will take 2 to 3 minutes. However, you need one more thing in order for MongoDB to work completely. That is Mongo shell, which is Mongo shell. Now, what exactly Mongo shell is? Mongo shell is that command line tool which will help you talk to the MongoDB database. You will not be able to talk to MongoDB database directly. You will talk to the database through a tiny wrapper known as Mongo shell. How to get Mongo shell? If you go to your database, if you go to your browser and again do a simple Google search for Mongo shell, that is Mongo shell, nothing else. Yes, Abhi, you can access the classes. If you type in Mongo shell, the first link that you get, click on it. Simply scroll down. You will see the very same UI. Simply download the zip package. It's a very small package, which a zip file, right? You will get a zip file. What you need to do is you need to extract the folder from it, which will look like this, right? This is what you will get. Now, you don't need to install anything from it. You don't need to install anything from Mongo shell. Simply copy this. Now, please pay attention. Simply copy this. Because by default, MongoDB was installed in the C drive. Go into your C drive and simply paste that Mongo shell folder. Simply paste that Mongo shell folder. Okay. Yeah. Now, where is it? There you go. If you want, you can change the name, or else it is fine. Don't even change the name. Well, this was the installation, as simple as that. Just to recap what we did, we first searched for MongoDB community server, which landed us here. We downloaded it and simply installed it. We did not change any setting. After that, we searched for Mongo shell. We downloaded the zip file. We extracted the zip. It looked something like this. And then we took the folder and then we pasted it into our C, the Windows C drive where your Windows operating system is. Two small things that you need to do in order for MongoDB to work. Now, you must be familiar with, especially the Windows people, they must be familiar with environment variables. You need to set two environment variables. हमें दो environment variables set करने हैं. एक MongoDB का और एक Mongo shell का. We will be setting environment variable for MongoDB and Mongo shell. Now, yes, you can download MSI. It's fine. In your C program files, go to your C program files. Now make sure you are into program files, not program files x86. Yes, Abhishek, I'm doing that. Into your program files, search for MongoDB, which you will find like this. Open it. Open server. Open 8 or 7 or 9, whatever you have. Open that. Open the folder bin. Find the folder bin in C program files MongoDB server 8.0. Copy this path from the address bar. Copy the path of the bin folder from the address bar. Hit the Windows icon, open the start command, open the start prompt, and type environment. ENVIRONMENT. You will see the pop-up edit system environment. You will see a pop-up something like this. Click on environment variables. Now you will have something like this. In the system variables, that is the box below, find path, find the variable path, click on edit. Click on new, paste what you copied, that is the path to the bin, and move it up. Take it to the top. Right? One last thing. What we did, we copied the path of MongoDB in the environment variable. We need one more path. Again, head back to your Windows, that is your C drive. Find the Mongo shell folder which you pasted. There you go. This is the Mongo shell folder. Open it. Herein also you will find bin. यहाँ भी आपको bin मिलेगा. Open that. Again, copy the path from the address bar. Again, copy the path from the address bar. Again, go into the environment variables. Again, click on new, paste the path, and move it up the chain. So what do you see? सबसे ऊपर आपको दिख रहा है MongoDB का path, and second you have the Mongo shells path. Now someone asked what environment variable is. An environment variable simply allows you to run these applications whose path that you set. It simply allows you to run these applications from anywhere in your operating system, from anywhere in your computer. Now, my MongoDB might be stored in C. I can run it in an application that can be stored in D drive, in E drive, or any other drive. That is what environment variable helps us with. Okay, I hope this answers your question, whoever asked this. When you are done with this, press OK, and press OK, and we are done. Moving it up, Abhishek, is entirely optional. It is just for our peace of mind that yes, Windows will read it whenever we try to access it. प्रशांत, इतना इंस्टॉलेशन तो करना पड़ता है आपको. Okay, now to check whether we have MongoDB up and running, it's fairly simple. Press Window and R. Press Window and R, the run command. Type in CMD. Type in CMD, short for command. There is no MongoDB files in program files there. Vaishnavi, you might be in the ROM program files. There is a program files and program files x86. Please go into the program files. Before that, make sure you have the MongoDB installed, whether the installation is complete or not. Please make sure of that. Go into your command prompt. The black screen will open. I'm sure you must have seen it so many times before. Simply type in Mongo space dash dash hyphen hyphen version. Actually, we don't need Mongo. All we can do is type Mongo sh. MongoD actually, right. Type in Mongo sh. Mongo sh is short for Mongo shell. Now, if you see something like this, some green text, and if you see test at the bottom, we are good to go. Mongo Compass also have Mongoose shell. Why Mongo shell? Well, Mongoose shell in Compass and this Mongo shell in Windows or Linux or Mac, they are basically the same things. Now it's up to you, whichever you use, Misha. Any questions in MongoDB what so far? We can do show DBs. Yes, we can do show DBs. You can see 3 databases that are already exist. You can create a database by use database. Let's create a database called LetsUpgrade. Let's create a collection. We'll do it actually tomorrow. Is it compulsory to install Mongo shell? No, Mirsha, it is not compulsory to install Mongo shell. However, if you want to work in this black window, then yes, then you need to install Mongo shell, which I would suggest you do. अभी collections है ही नहीं ना जीवन, तो क्या show करेंगे? Or is it enough to use a Mongo Compass? It is entirely enough. Well, Yashwant, if you are in a big company, if you are in a big, let's say a product-based company, if you are in a giant organization, it will be very good to have shell knowledge. It will be very good if you can type in your command instead of click from your mouse. Mongo sh and Mongo D, what difference between? Mongo D में जो D होता है दृष्टि, उसे कहते हैं हम daemon. Mongo daemon. Mongo daemon is the actual process that runs your MongoDB, or in simple terms, Mongo daemon is actual MongoDB, the database. However, you cannot directly talk to the Mongo daemon. So you talk it through Mongo shell. Mongo shell क्या है? एक बहुत छोटा सा पर्दा है जिसके थ्रू आप उससे बात करते हैं with your database. This is the Mongo shell that you are seeing on my screen. Any chance you are a graphic designer? I'm a full stack developer, Abhishek. What we will be going to learn tomorrow? We will be going to learn some queries. We will be writing some, we'll be creating collections. We'll be writing queries for inserting data, updating, fetching data. We'll be learning about aggregations, the lookups, things like these. Today was all about what MongoDB is, what this session is about, and installing MongoDB. Why we use MySQL or MongoDB in service-based companies? In any company, you use database to store data. Ayush. Looking forward for tomorrow. Fantastic. DBMS for learning. No, DBMS is not required, Prashant. If you have DBMS knowledge, it's good, but it's not a prerequisite. From tomorrow onwards, we'll be writing commands in this Mongo shell. How to create user server, sir? Ravi, it's a different question, not related to this. Yes, we will be doing CRUD operation, Subodip Sarkar. Not today, tomorrow. Yes, you can, Misha. You can use shell in Mongo Compass. Yes, you can. Well, for today, हाँ Subodip, CRUD operations कल होंगे. Please don't spam. Well, that will be all from my side, guys. I am as excited as you guys for tomorrow. I hope I will see everyone in tomorrow's lecture and in the coming days as well. Yes, we will try and give you hands-on experience only, Yashwant. No theory. The theory was for today only. Right? That will be all from my side, guys. Thank you.